Hey guys, I'm back with another video. This one's going to be a little different than anything I've created so far. I'm going to take the time to drown out all the negative energy and noise around the game that we all used to love at some point, and give you guys the reason why I still love World of Warcraft, and why honestly, I don't think I'll ever be able to put this game down. WoW has always been more than a game to me, and I hope I can relate to you guys in some way, shape, or form in this video. Now, this video took me a few tries because I got a little emotional, and you'll see why if you continue to watch. Now, I've told some of these stories on my stream, so bear with me as I attempt to wing this. So I remember Christmas Eve of 2004 like the back of my hand. At the time, I begged my grandma for the battle chest. That's all I ever wanted. Now, if you guys don't remember what the battle chest was, it was a 3-piece set of games. It had Diablo 2, StarCraft Brood War, and Warcraft 3 Frozen Throne. My uncle at the time had me hooked on Warcraft 3, and I haven't played the Frozen Throne expansion yet. I was a custom game addict, and I had to get my hands on that game. My grandma handed me a gift, and from the looks of it, I already knew it wasn't the battle chest. It was a small wrapped square, and I knew the battle chest was a big rectangle because I've seen it at the stores. It was always in the front of the Best Buy that we had by my house. I had to get my hands on that game. My heart sank. I didn't show that I was upset, but I opened the present anyways. And inside was a game called World of Warcraft. And the rest was history. Fast forward a few months from that, and I somehow had convinced my whole family that this was the greatest thing since sliced bread. In just a short amount of time, I had my 2 uncles, 3 cousins, and aunt all subscribed to this game. We were hooked. One night I would play with my uncle, the next I'd be with my cousins. Or some nights I would be randomly running around the barrens with my aunt. I had no idea what I was doing. I was barely 11 years old. This magical fantasy land was home, and I had the whole world to explore and do whatever I want. Since one of my uncles lived about 6 hours away, this was really the only time I could spend with him. Killing boars and harpies for hours, exploring every single inch of the lands we possibly could. I remember I would get so excited when he would call my mom asking if I could play with him that night. When he would come down to visit, it was basically a holiday. There were nights where me and my 6 other family members would be at a house, all cooped up in 2 rooms playing together. As much pizza and Mountain Dew Code Red as one could ever want. Think of the South Park episode where they were playing in Cartman's basement. That was us. I remember sometimes I would get so mad at my cousin because he would stop whatever we were doing to go chase a mining node. My aunt would do the same thing with herbalism. We would be in the middle of a quest or fighting elites, and I remember her voice, she would always be like, "Oh, a flower." However, my fondest moment of us was one night we decided to try a dungeon called Blackrock Depths. Now remember, we didn't, or at least I didn't, spend any time doing extracurricular research on this game. I was just a hunter with any piece of gear I could find. I would love to see what my toon looked like today. Just a hot mess of the most random gear scattered around Azeroth. If it looked cool, I was wearing it. It took us about an hour just to find the dungeon entrance, going up and down the chains, fighting trash. I recall zoning in, and we were just dumbfounded at not only the scenery of the dungeon, but how big the place was. I kid you not, we spent 6 whole hours in that dungeon, clearing anything we could, because not only didn't we know where to go, we had no idea what could be around the next corner. I don't think we finished that dungeon until about 6:30 in the morning. There's a billion of other little stories I have and things I would love to share with you guys, but I simply cannot explain to you the rush or feeling of emotions I would have playing World of Warcraft with my family. Unfortunately, I would love to give you guys a happy ending to this story, but everything good must come to an end. My uncles unsubscribed a year or so later, my cousins quit playing. The only two that remained was myself and my aunt. We didn't play much together because I was dead set on the Horde, as I still am, and she loved her human warlock. I would still spend the night at her house solely to play World of Warcraft with her, while my cousins and my uncle played other games. Eventually, family drama happened, and a lot of my family split up, never to be heard from again. But I still hold on to these memories like they were just yesterday. Now, my parents didn't get along with my aunt, so we lost contact. And just like that, she unsubscribed from WoW. And I was the lone player left. What happened next is something I don't know if I'll ever recover from, and might be the biggest reason I still cling to WoW. I remember getting a text from a random number after school one day, which happened to be my aunt. She said she had brain cancer and that her days were numbered. She passed away about a month later. So now every time I see a human female warlock, I think of her. It felt wrong to quit the game, like I would let her down. So I carried on. I played all throughout my teenage years. I remember I would never tell my friends at the time I played WoW because I was so afraid I would get roasted or just made fun of. I played sports, and I had good grades, which is why my parents mainly let me play so much WoW, because I proved that it wouldn't control my life. However, when I hit around 16 or 17 years old, something else controlled my life, and that was marijuana. I thought it was fun to skip school and smoke weed all day with my friends and play Xbox. I quit all my sports. My grades suffered. I even quit WoW for a little bit. I was spiraling out of control, all because of a plant and the feelings it would give me. I had lost all motivation. Then one day, I woke up and said enough was enough. I finally had the courage to quit, but when I quit, I lost all my friends. Now I was really alone. I had no friends. My grades sucked. I quit baseball, football, and basketball. It was a dark transition for me. But you know what I did? I came back to World of Warcraft. Now people may laugh or judge me, but when I had nobody, World of Warcraft was there. When I came home sad, World of Warcraft was there. When I gained a lot of weight during this time and people would make fun of me, World of Warcraft was there. The game had suddenly went from just a game to a place of security and comfort, a place where I could be myself and play with these people I had no idea who they were, but I considered them my friends. At the time, it was Cataclysm, and I quickly quit that because there was just way too many changes. And me, being still young, I didn't really understand the game to a full extent. But you know what I did understand? Vanilla WoW. So I went back to private servers, Nostalaris, Elysium, Light's Hope, and more. Vanilla Classic WoW was my second home. When Blizzard announced Classic was coming in 2019, I knew there was no chance I wouldn't play. I chose the server Mankrik, and once again the rest is history. Now for the people who found me in 2019, they know the type of skilled player I am, and most still consider me one of the best tanks they've ever played with. Skill doesn't really matter to me though. I've always been a community type of guy, and my WoW friends know that. I started running 40-man pugs, and called them Frenzy Pugs. They were a huge hit. I was hosting AQ40, Blackwing Lair, and ZGs multiple times a week. A place where there was no gold buying, no toxicity, and no judgment. Just a safe place to raid while having fun getting the job done quickly and efficiently. At one point, we were getting like 52-minute Blackwing Lair clears, and that's huge for a random 40-man pugs. I met a lot of friends there. Some I still talk to today. I even have their phone numbers or social media. I even met up in real life with a couple of them. But once again, good things must come to an end. After a while, the pugs sort of gave me anxiety. Hundreds and hundreds of people trying to sign up for my raids. But it wasn't because they liked me or because they wanted a community or a safe haven. They just wanted the pixels of gear on their character, and that's all that mattered. Eventually, it just became obvious that I was just being used for gear. So I dismantled the pugs and went MIA for a while. I dabbed in the TBC and Wrath of the Lich King here and there, but it just hasn't stuck. And now here we are, playing classic WoW again, hardcore or era, and I'm enjoying every second of it, meeting people daily, making friends, just like how the game was intended to be played. The moral of this video is that there's been so many things that have happened in my life, good and bad throughout the years. But the one thing that has stayed constant, true, and close to my heart is World of Warcraft. I appreciate you guys watching this video, and I hope somehow I connected with you or that you have your own memories to share in the comments. Thank you.